Hey guys, this is Black7 here. Today we'll be discussing, pretty much for the first time, our PFA Season 7 squad, or team. For those of you who don't know, PFA is pretty much the draft league I started out in. And yeah, um, I have practically participated in just about every season, except for like a couple where in the middle where I kind of dipped. And I want to go into that, but in PFA, I did win like say like 2 titles, but I recently won in like 3. So, um, and I did want to come back for this season just to have a little bit more fun. So, with this roster, I drafted, and you could say this roster is familiar if you've seen our CIL team. And I'm not kidding you. I was even dumbfounded when I was able to draft this roster. Because I didn't really have a draft plan, but I just wanted to see what was available. So, for those of you who don't know, for the draft system that we went with, it was basically similar to GBA style. The only difference is that instead of drafting two C tiers, there is a new S tier slot where like people draft an S tier spawn, which everyone in the league elects to. So everyone has to have its S tier, A, B, C, D, and E. So just one of each. So. And 4 slots for what's it? 4 slots, like with 400 points allocated for your squad. So yeah. Basically this squad, this is very interesting. So, for this league, we did like draft almost spontaneously because we all had like busy schedules and stuff, and for some reason we all were available around I think Tuesday, like I forgot what day was it, in July, but like we were all there and we're like, you know what, fuck it, we'll just draft, and it went smooth surprisingly. But yeah, for this season I'll be uploading stuff, so our post-coms and mostly post-coms. I might do a live here and there, but I'm not so sure if I'll do it. But I'm definitely going to detail all my battles. Whether or not I do team builders, I might save team builders for like the playoffs, but yeah. Also, one last thing is that since we do have 5 transactions available, and also 3 trade options, don't expect this team to be the same, because I do typically blow up my team sometimes. But then again, you might be wondering what the squad, yeah, you probably may or not blow it up, but yeah. There might be some changes you might see in the future, but yeah. I'm already considering, so. But yeah, so let's get on to the team. So, given like how, I think in the draft I got the second to last spot, I knew that I had to get like a good S tier, and all of them were being picked up almost ASAP. All the good S and A tier mons, and there were 2 Pokemon I wanted, and these 2, Manaphy and Zapdos. And I figured that, like, you know, I know I kind of shitted on Manaphy for so long, and I keep like you know, trading it, dropping it for whatever reason. But this time I decided, you know what, I might just pick it up now and just have the return of Blue, the Manaphy. So, I mean, what can Blue not do? Like, set up Calm Mind, set up Tail Glows, be a defensive wall, Tail Glow sweep, I don't know, be Scarfed, Specs, just sweep in general. So, and given the nature of this team, it really facilitates this option. I think this is the first, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is the first time I feel like I finally have a team that actually facilitates Manaphy very well. Then again, like maybe PFA season 2 or season 3 might be different, because then again I had Manaphy those 2 seasons, and yeah. But like I said, what's there not to talk about? Like, it has options like with it has like utility options in Toxic U-turn and Brine Bubble, and even though, just kidding, not Bubble. Even some stuff like Heart Swap, Acid Armor, like I said, its coverage is amazing. So and given how it's a base 100 Pixie, it's across the board of BST, you're not gonna die. Like, unless it's something like a top Coco hit or Specs Thunderbolt or from Stab, Coco or some bull. So yeah, I did do a Manaphy explanation video for how to draft or how to use Manaphy, and I don't know if I have it up to by now or like later, but if you guys want to like check that out, that's pretty much my only shameless cloud. So I'll leave that in the description. So talk about Manaphy and stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my first round pick. So because I kind of wanted a good water type or a good like Pokemon all around that I know how to use. And speaking of Pokemon I know how to use, this is a Pokemon I think this is pretty much like pretty obvious. Like, I wanted to pick Zapdos because, or like maybe one of the Latias. Like, if Zapdos was picked, I was gonna get like Latios or Latias immediately. So, and they weren't picked by then. But yeah, having Zapdos is amazing because now that I have like defog support, I have pivot options, but Volt Switch and was it U-turn? So, and the thing is, I've used Zapdos multiple times, and then pretty much my favorite set is pretty much now the Static Discharge set, because you're just getting so multiple chances to get paralysis on your opponent, whether they make contact with you or not. So it has also, I think, does it have Baton Pass? Yeah, it does have Baton Pass, so I could Baton Pass stuff as well. But there's not much really to say. Zapdos could be a good pivot. It could be a bulky wall, special, physical. It's really good. It's also a good pressure user, probably one of the best ones in the game. So to reduce power points from your opponent. So yeah, like I said, like it has good coverage, good enough coverage to make do with itself, and it can be really hard to take down. So at times, so yeah. The only thing I would say is that Zapdos can be exploited, but it's the fact that it has to be a defogger sometimes, and of course Rocks is going to take some damage, dip damage and stuff. So I gotta keep this thing healthy at all costs. So yeah, and which pretty much leads me to my next pick. And this pick, I noticed it was still there, and I noticed that there was someone like building a sand team, and I noticed this mono was still available, and I decided, you know what, like it goes between this one and Infernape. And I figured, you know what, why not? And I got Escadrille. So, Escadrille pretty much works very well with Manaphy and Zapdos together because, like, it threatens like the electric types that they're both kind of like weak towards, and I have immunity. So, I have rocks with this guy. I have Rapid Spin, so that way Zapdos doesn't have to like carry defog all the time. So, one thing I do like about Escadrille is that it has Mold Breaker, so that I could just spam Earthquake. No avail. Like, even though Pokemon that has Levitate, I'm just like, you're getting some damage. Whether it's super effective or not, you're gonna get something down, so. Like I said, I do have Rocks, I do have Stab, EQ, Go Run if I need it, so. Iron Head, there's some interesting coverage options it has. Like, or interesting, what do you call it? What do you call it? Heck, there you go. Like Iron Defense, Magnet Rise, Rock Tomb. I ran Rock Tomb Escadrille before. That was weird, but NCIL obviously has Iron Head, Poison Jab, Rapid Spin. So yeah, Shadow Claw and Short Stance, Toxic, X Scissor. So I'm just listing out some stuff. But the thing about Escadrille is that it did really, really well for me for CIL, especially in the games I brought it in. So, or like it always did its job. So especially in CIL finals, it did really, really well. So yeah. So pretty much I have a very solid like spinner now. So like ground steel type. So and with this guy and Zapdos and Manaphy, like there's just like, and this was so close to my wheel pick. I decided, you know what, I might as well like I thought about it because like I first thought like, oh, I want to maybe I'll try something new, but then I realized since I have all three of these guys together, I might as well pick it. I might as well just get Charizard X. So Now, we all know that Charizard X1 becomes black and blue and navy. I don't know. Shiny is very weird. It's like it becomes all green or something. But yeah, with that, Charizard is now our third defog option, our third hazard removal. So that it removes stuff from oh, who am I kidding? So we all know what Charizard X does. Like I mean, Tough Claws, 130 attack. I mean, you can do the math there. So it also has a good 130 special attack because like it does have some good coverage options for a special dragon. So it has Dragon Pulse, Overheat, HP Ice, Instant Power. Maybe some limited, and maybe it's limited, but yeah. But likewise, the thing about Charizard X I liked over some of the other Pokemon was that like one Charizard X is pretty much can be run as a tank. It can be run as a physical wall. It can be run as a Dragon Dance setter. Like it has Swords Dance, Tailwind. It has so much setup options, and it can do so much as a fire type. And I think one of the reasons why it does so well is because of that new Dragon typing as well. Because it just gives it a resistance to electric, which is something that and as well as grass, which is something that I need for this team. So. And like I said, this thing doesn't need to set up at all. It already hits hard enough. It has 130 offensive stats across the board with decent speed at 100. Even though that speed is kind of like useless now in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon time, but whatever. It's still good. Like, it even has priority for all, for goodness sake, so. There's a lot of crazy shit you could run with Charizard X. And I hope I could try to use that crazy shit in future battles, but I don't know, so I digress. And that's about it. So it hits really hard, you gotta prepare for it, and yeah. So. Next we have is Togekiss, and Togekiss is pretty much our like the mon that I was waiting, because I thought Togekiss was gonna be picked over like let's say Sylveon. Like I wanted Togekiss or Sylveon because of it'll complete my Steel Dragon Fairy Core. But I was leaning towards Togekiss because I kind of wanted to nerf hazard removal, and the fact that Togekiss does so much more than like Florges or Sylveon. Sylveon hits hard while he's a cleric and has Calm Mind. Well, Togekiss has Nasty Pass. Wait, I don't know if that's allowed. If baton passing stats is allowed, I might have to check on that. But yeah, thing is with Togekiss is that it's a really good. Has a really good typing with Fairy Flying. It does gain that extra weakness in Poison and Steel, but I have that covered with Escadrille, so. And these two pair fantastically together, so. I have like, obviously, Air Slash, because why not flinch everything down when you have the chance? And Ancient Power, or Sphere. I have Dazzling Gleam. This thing should have Moonblast. I don't know why Game Freak. Well, maybe Game Freak probably knows why, because then again, 60% chance to drop special attack might be just a little bit too much, but yeah. You have stuff like Endeavor, Encore, Extreme Speed, like a bunch of fire coverage. This is a fairy type, by the way. You don't expect this. Like, maybe except for Fable, but yeah, you don't expect this. It has instant recovery in like Roost, has Nasty Block, has Screen, has Soft Boil. I think it has this from Fire Red and Green. I think I recall that. Tailwind, Thunderwave, so obviously Flinch Hacks. This, because why not freeze your opponent? Why not burn your opponent? Have like a roulette, so with Tri Attack. Like, it has a Wish. It could be a Wish Cleric support. So even some of the moves here, like from the usually useless stuff that Smogon lists here, or it's not Smogon, but like Showdown list here, is like very interesting. Like Charm, Counter, Curse. Follow me with Extra Wanted is fun, but obviously we're not playing that format. But like, this move pool is still interesting. Yawn, Sword Power, Cycle Shift. So. But yeah, Togekiss, like, and one thing I like about Togekiss is that it's, unlike the other fairies, it actually has a high defense stat in 95 and 115 special defense, so it's really, and 120 special attack, so it's really strong on the defensive side. The only thing that it's lacking is speed and attack, but obviously the attack stat is kind of like useless. No special attacking mon. You could run like Hustle, but to be honest, Hustle doesn't make sense at all, so yeah. Then again, you could just go for Ancient Power Boost. Like, you call it this Death Silver one. It does get boost all the time. All the time, guys. Get those Omni Boost. But yeah, Togekiss is like pretty much a very good utility Pokemon. It just fits in my team very well. Like, has defog, it has like cleric support, it could be like a baton passer, it could like it could kill my Pokemon status option. It could even like sweep if it wants to, so it has a good speed and full to do so, and it could be a wall, so it's a very solid pick on my end. So the last Pokemon I wanted to talk about on this side is Gigalith. So now, given that I already drafted Escadrille, I felt that Gigalith was probably the only other mon I have to draft, because the fact that it has access to Sandstream, and the fact that it can also get a 50% boost with the special defense. So yeah, and it frees up my rock. And it could be a rocker as well. So the thing about Gigalith is that it's surprisingly, especially when I'm in my time using in VGC 17 and in doubles, is that even though this doesn't really translate to draft league play, but it's like it's the same shit. So this thing is very bulky. Like I said, 130 defense and 80 special defense. Like, this could become up to like 130 special defense artificially, so if you like put it like the investment into it. As you can see, move pool includes, but it's not limited to, stuff like Earthquake, Explosion, Heavy Slam, Rock Blast, so that you could break substitutes, Block Slide, Rock Tube, Stone Edge, Smackdown, even Throw Chop. So I know it has setup options like Curse, I know it has Gravity, and I think that's about it, but aside that, it even has Lock, so if I could try some fun stuff there. So overall, I do like this Gigalith pick just because one, it relieves my only rocker at the time, which is Escadrille, and two, it gives me that option to have Sand. So yeah, it really helps me out there on that end. So, and it really helps this team in general. So deal with stuff like the poison types, the damn, I forgot. So but overall, I do like this Gigalith pick. It mostly helps alleviate Escadrille. So yeah. With that, I did wanted to draft like a couple of Pokemon here and there left over. So, and I felt that with this draft, I have like enough options, I would say. So for the last slots here, the last Pokemon. So at this point, I noticed that my team had like a ground weakness, and I decided to like do my best to patch it up. So the first Pokemon I got was Virizion, which is a ground resistance. So, especially for this Pokemon to stay like undrafted throughout the early part of the draft, or like the mid or late section, was kind of shocking. But it kind of fell towards me, given how like a lot of teams like had really amazing like draft cores with synergy. So I kind of know why that they were like drafting those cores, but the fact that Virizion stayed was kind of shocking. So but yeah, with Virizion, I do have a Pokemon with 108 speed now, which is really cool. And it does give me like, it does help me with my Fire Water or Grass core. So the thing with Virizion is that you really don't know what this thing can do. It can be a screener, it can be like obviously a Sword Stance set user, have Combine, it can have like some defensive set even. I think if this thing had Leech Seed, like Virizion would have like so much more usage. The good thing is that it does have like some recovery underneath this, so it could be a special defensive wall if I needed to. It has Taunt, it has Sword Stance, it has Close Combat. Even though Close Combat might be counterintuitive on defensive set, but maybe like Sacred Sword. Oh no, yeah, Sacred Sword, just to bypass defenses. So his move pool is limiting, unfortunately, but I think it's usable enough to where like it could be strong. Especially that I do have the Virizion with the Z Crystal, so I could use, let's say, like a Sword Stance and then like Gracium Z Leaf Blade or Gracium Z like or not Gracium but Fightium Z Close Combat. So yeah, I do like that this mon can just be that can be like a pivot to special attackers as well. So and can just threaten them out. So. The only thing I don't like is, again, limiting move pool, but you kind of have to work around it. So anyway, so yeah, it does have its good traits with its fast speed and high special defense, but which kind of helps our team like take those hits. But obviously, Virizion has a lot of weaknesses with the grass fighting type. It has weaknesses to flying, fire, ice. I think fairy, psychic. Poison. I think it's weak to poison, if not neutral. But like, there's another one. I forgot there's another one, but like, it was weak towards. But I know it's weak to like fire, ice, flying, fairy, psychic. Yeah, I think it's just those three. But yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much the mon I wanted to get because I noticed that I was lacking speed. So yeah, that's about it. So our next pick is not Uxie, but like Mesprit. So this is pretty much going into our oh, by the way, this is our second free slot. So with Mesprit, this is like somewhat like the wheel. So I kind of wanted another how do I say it? Another like bulky psych type. And looking around, there was like only one that kind of made the most sense. And with Mesprit, I'm able to run. I'm able to have, let's say, like let's say, really good utility with like options like knockoff, U-turn, Psychic, Calm Mind, Reflect, Dual Screens, Thunder Wave, Toxic, Trick Room, like I said, Arm, Healing Wish. I do think this has Healing Wish as well. So, it is like one thing people forget is that this thing is fairly bulky with 80, 105, and 105 defenses across the board. It's nothing to laugh at as well. So, and also offensively as well. So this thing could take some hits and can dish back really hard. The only thing is that its move pool is rather lacking. Like, I think if it had, like, let's say that extra move pool, like, whether it be, like, let's say Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, like, it's, like, other brethren, its other two, like, Uxie and, Azelf, I think it would be really fine. But, like, it does have Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, Knockoff, so I think it does have Thunderbolt, so if it had, like, fire coverage, basically, I think it would have been set. But then again, it already has dual screens as well, so like I think the only way you could set up is with Power Punch and Calm Mind. So this thing is very threatening. So like the fact that it is like fairly bulky across the board, so it gives me that pivot option. It gives me another Pokemon to run rocks inside, like let's say Excadrill and Gigalith. So yeah, there's not much to say, but like. I do like, I have used Mesprit before in the past, and it has won me title in PFA, so, I think with a dual screen set I've had it with Healing Wish, so, I think I remember that. That set really helped me out, so, so, for our last Pokemon in or not last Pokemon, but like, I think the last Pokemon that I like out of this draft, probably my favorite one, is Alolan Persian. So now what I like about Alolan Persian compared to the rest of these Pokemon is that this thing is probably one of the most like I don't want to say Sidewatch. This thing is probably the best utility mon in the lower tiers. And if you don't know why, especially for this team, like it has access to two really good abilities with fur coat, which doubles his defense, which is insane. And I've used this thing in VGC, so this thing could like, it has access to one of the best moves, one of the best moves in the game in my opinion, which is Parting Shot, which lowers the attack and special attack by 1 stage, and you switch out. You have any idea how powerful this ability or this move is? This fact that you pair that up with my team, given how bulky it is, this gives it the Charizard X or my Manaphy or something else time to either set up or wall something. And the fact that this thing has fur coat means it's not going down anytime soon. So, and paired with that 115 speed, it just makes very sense. It really, it just makes a very sense to just have this Pokemon on this team. The only thing I would say is that like, it does have a limiting move pool, but it has just enough to like do its job. So it has Foul Play, which with Dark Stab, it's gonna do a lot of damage to like physical mons. You also have, I think, Charm, I believe. Yeah, Fake Out, Knock Off, and you even have some really interesting options like Play Rough, Power Gym, Nasty Plot. Especially when you have Technician, you could play around with that. Like, it has Switcheroo, so it also has a trick option. It has Taunt, it has U-Turn if you need to like U-turn over a Parting Shot in some situations, because I know that might help. So yeah. The only thing I would say, it even has like interesting some stuff like Gnosis, Icy Wind, and Punishment, Snarl, Sea Snatch, and that's about it. So I did put this as our Z move user, so. And that's another thing about like having this guy, because with Dark EMZ, let's say Parting Shot, I can recover, let's say, Manaphy or Charizard X, basically. Like, I could play around a little bit recklessly. Or I could just have a Z Foul Play, which hits just really hard with this guy, so yeah. The only thing I will say is that Persian can be a very, very good pivot for us. Especially how like we do lack some like pivoting options, and it's something I've been lacking for like, let's say, in most of my drafts. But the fact that we have a Persian that could do it, that can facilitate our team very well, is just like really, really good. So especially when you have mons like Char X and Manaphy that can appreciate the support. Oh yeah, I did forget that I did put a Z move onto Mesprit as well. So given that it has a wide variety as well, so maybe you might see Future Sight or see Psychic or whatever you want to call it. So yeah. So that's basically these two. And for the last two, these are pretty much throwaways. Not gonna lie. But I kind of want to use them at least once or twice, but chances are likely that you might see them drafted away. But the first Pokemon I drafted, this is pretty much out of time, sorry, on time, was basically Avalugg. Or I think it was either Avalugg or Scyther, I forgot, but this is a Pokemon that I found interesting because it has a base HP of 95 and 184 defense. So this is really a physically defensive Pokemon with access to Sturdy and Own Tempo, I think. And I could also recover and hail, so it's pretty interesting. But that defense stat really helps it, with access to recover can help it a lot. So. The only thing I don't like about Avalugg is that it is very slow. It has an atrocious special defense stat, so... And not to mention, this thing is very weak to like common types like Fighting, Fire, Steel. I know I'm missing one. I'm Rock. So, and the one thing I have, the one thing that it has to do is like kind of like ruined. So, in terms of rapid spinning. But then again, you could say that argument with Togekiss and Zapdos. So yeah. But likewise, it has access to moves like Avalanche, which doubles in power if it's damaged by the target. So you're already gonna hit like 120 most of the time if they target you down. So yeah, Rapid Spin. You have Ice Fang. you have block, you have curse, earthquake, etc. So Avalok is pretty much a great defensive wall overall. It can take on some stuff, some defensive threats, but like I said, like those typings are really threatening. So like I'm not gonna lie, I might consider trading this guy, but I have to wait and see. I have to think about this. So because I've heard good things about Avalok. It's just that, you know, practice and come like, you know, game time, like like I want to see where it matters most. So the last mon on our team was basically I think Scyther. So the reason why I picked Scyther was because I think it was mostly because the fact that that we wanted a Pokemon that was a base above base 100 speed, and it just pretty much fits our team in general. The only thing I don't like about Scyther is it does have a Violite, and like compared to the other Violite users, like I think Scyther was slightly more better in terms of offense. But then again, like I might have to consider this one, reconsider this one, because like just because it's like a Violite doesn't mean like it might be. It makes it very bulky on like the defense and special defense. It's just that with Roost, it's really good. It's just that like I'm just thinking, okay, what else can I do with it? So as you can see, like I'm just pausing and thinking like, oh, what I can do. It's Scyther. Of course, I could like it could Sword Stance, it could U-turn, it could like be a Scarfer, it could be like Bandit Mon. It doesn't have to run a Violite all the time. So that's from what I could tell. So the only thing I'll say is that like I really, with Technician at least, it's gonna make up for it. So I do have it on Kara KCBL team, so that'll be. Well, hopefully I might be able to bring Scyther once or twice this time. So, but like expect Scyther to do something to be brought in a game or two. So yeah. So basically that's about it. That's all the team analysis I'm gonna do for today. So regarding when battles are gonna be starting, I think we're gonna be doing our battles starting like next week. I will just start uploading week by week. So that way like there's like a steady supply of like videos coming out, since in KCBL like it's like one battle per 2 weeks, but this one's a standard league, which is one per week. So you'll see a battle every now and then. So every week, instead of like KCBL, it's like I have to wait like a while. So I think right now in KCBL, I'm in week 5 going into week 6, and we already finished our week 5 battle. So yeah, but overall I do like the makeup of the team, and I think it's probably one of my favorite drafts I've had in CIL, not CIL, but in PFA. So with access to Mana Feeds, Zapdos, Escadrille, this core right here is really amazing, just right off the bat. I think I might have to see how these Pokemon work together with the other mons I have, because I want to see how like these three like do like in terms of like the upcoming season. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my analysis, and hopefully see me get my ass kicked at PFA. So alright, so I want you to likewise I want to hear some comments from you guys, whether or not what do you think about this team and what's on your mind with it, whether or not I might drop blue again. So yeah, so hopefully I'll see you guys later. So have a good day. So